A long time ago, a magician wanted a very special magic lamp. But the lamp was in a cave in China. The magician couldn't go into the cave to get the lamp. Only a boy could get the magic lamp from the cave. The magician went to China. There, in a market, he saw a poor boy. The boy had a basket of bread. "What's your name, boy?" asked the magician. "Aladdin, sir," said the boy. "Please, buy my bread." "Yes, you can sell me your bread," said the magician, "and then I can take you to the mountains to see a magic garden in a secret cave." "Here's the bread," said Aladdin. "Now take me to the mountains. I want to see the secret cave and the magic garden." The magician and Aladdin went to the mountains. They ate Aladdin's bread on the journey. "Here's the cave," said the magician. "You, Aladdin, must go into the cave and get the magic lamp." "But I can't go into the cave," said Aladdin. "The stone door is closed. You must pull the brass ring to open the door. Then you can go in," said the magician. Aladdin pulled the ring. The stone door opened and he saw some steps in the dark cave. "Go down the steps to the magic garden," said the magician. "There's a beautiful fruit tree in the garden. Under the tree there's a brass lamp. You must bring the lamp to me. Hurry, Aladdin. Go and bring me the lamp." Aladdin went down the steps. It was very dark. But suddenly, he saw a light. It was the magic garden. Aladdin went into the magic garden. There were beautiful flowers and wonderful trees, but one tree was more beautiful than the others. It was the fruit tree. All the fruit were different colors and different shapes. Aladdin ate some of the fruit. It was delicious. Then Aladdin saw the lamp under the tree. He took it and started to go back to the magician. "I've got the lamp," he shouted. "Hurry! Hurry! Bring me the lamp." "I must go home," said the magician. Aladdin went up the steps with the lamp, but the door closed. The magician was very angry because he didn't have the magic lamp. He went back home, to a country far away. Aladdin was alone in the dark cave. "Help! Help!" he said. "I can't open the door," but the magician wasn't there. The magician was at home, in a country far away from China. Aladdin was afraid. The door was closed and he couldn't open it. He wanted to go home. Then Aladdin looked at the magic lamp. It was dirty, so he rubbed it on his shirt to clean it. Whoosh! 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 There was a blue, red, orange and green cloud in the cave. "I am the genie of the lamp," said the genie. "Your wish is my command. I want to go home," said Aladdin. "Please, take me home." Whoosh! 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 Aladdin was at home with his mother. "What's this? An old brass lamp?" asked Aladdin's mother. "I can clean it. I can sell it in the market, and then I can buy some food for us." She took the lamp and started to rub it. "No. Give me the lamp," said Aladdin. "It's a magic lamp." Whoosh! 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 There was a blue, red, orange and green cloud in the house. "I am the genie of the lamp," said the genie. "Your wish is my command. I want a beautiful house, some lovely clothes, and a lot of jewels," said Aladdin's mother. Whoosh! 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 Aladdin and his mother had a beautiful house, lovely clothes, and a lot of jewels. They were rich now. Aladdin helped the poor people in the town. He gave them money and food, and everyone loved him. Some years later Aladdin married a beautiful princess, the emperor's daughter. The emperor liked Aladdin because he was kind to the poor people. Aladdin and the princess lived in a beautiful palace with a garden. They were very happy. Aladdin's mother lived with them. One day Aladdin was in the palace reading a book. The princess was in the garden. She saw a poor old man with a big basket of lamps outside the garden. "New lamps for old," he shouted. "Bring me your old lamps." "I've got new lamps to give you." "What a good idea," thought the princess. "I can give him Aladdin's old lamp, and he can give me a lovely new lamp for Aladdin." The old man took the old lamp from the princess. "Thank you, princess. You're very kind," he said. "Why do you want old lamps?" said the princess. "Ha," he said. "I only want one old lamp, this one. It's a magic lamp with a genie. And it can make me a rich man." "Oh. You're not a poor old man," said the princess. "You're the magician." "Yes, princess," said the magician. "And now we must go, far away, to my country." The magician took the lamp, and rubbed it. Whoosh! 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 There was a blue, red, orange and green cloud in the garden. "I am the genie of the lamp," said the genie. "Your wish is my command. Take us and Aladdin's palace to my country," said the magician. Whoosh! 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 Suddenly, they were far away. There was no town. There were no people. They were in the desert. "Please, Aladdin, take us home," said the princess. "Don't be sad, my princess," said Aladdin. "We must get the magic lamp. I've got an idea. We can ask the magician to eat with us this evening. We can give him a drink with a magic potion, a magic sleeping potion," said the princess. "Yes," said Aladdin. "And, when he's asleep, I can take the magic lamp from him. We can put the sleeping potion in some orange juice," said the princess. "Good idea," said Aladdin. That evening, the magician went to Aladdin's palace. "Do you like it here in my country?" asked the magician. "Yes, the desert is strange and beautiful," said Aladdin. "But we want to go home." "Oh, no," said the magician. "You must stay here forever." "Would you like some orange juice?" said the princess. "It's very good. It's from the orange trees in my garden." "Thank you," said the magician. Suddenly, the magician was asleep. Aladdin took the magic lamp from him and rubbed it. Whoosh! 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 There was a blue, red, orange and green cloud in the palace. "I am the genie of the lamp," said the genie. "Your wish is my command. Please, take us home." "But we don't want to take the magician," said Aladdin. "He can stay here in the desert forever." The emperor was very happy to see his daughter and Aladdin again. "Tomorrow evening everyone can come to a party at my palace," said the emperor. "What a good idea," said Aladdin's mother. It was a wonderful party. There was a lot to eat and drink. There was music, and people danced and sang in the emperor's gardens. Everyone was happy to see Aladdin and the princess again. Aladdin, where's the magician? Asked the emperor. Ah, said Aladdin. He's far away, in the desert, and he can stay there forever. Aladdin, you must tell me, where's the magic lamp? Asked the emperor. That, said Aladdin, is a secret. Greg is a porter at the Shepton Hotel in New York. After work, he always goes for a coffee across the street. A girl is sitting in the coffee shop, near the window. It's her again, thinks Greg. She's here every afternoon. I'm going to say hello. Greg goes into the coffee shop and gets a coffee. Then he goes across to the girl's table. Hi, he says. I'm Greg. Can I sit with you? Okay, she says. I'm Cassie. I come here for a coffee every day after work, says Greg. I'm a porter at the Shepton Hotel. He smiles. You have beautiful green eyes, have I? She says. She doesn't smile. Is something wrong, Cassie? He asks. You don't look very happy. It's nothing, she says. Tell me, says Greg. Maybe I can help? Well. She begins. Go on, says Greg. My stepfather is staying at the Shepton Hotel, she says. He has my sketchbooks. I'm an artist. When I ask him to give them to me, he says, no. I want you to come back home to Boston. But I don't want to go back to Boston. He's not nice. How long is he going to be at the hotel? Asks Greg. 2 more days, says Cassie. He's in room 724. Maybe I can get the sketchbooks for you, says Greg. Maybe I can get into his room. Can you? She says. Meet me here tomorrow afternoon at 4:30, says Greg. Okay, thank you, says Cassie. Thank you very much. She looks at her watch. I've got to go now. See you tomorrow. When Cassie gets back to her hotel room, she makes a telephone call. Hello, she says. It's me. It's okay, the boy's going to do it. Yes, I'm going to get them from him tomorrow afternoon. Okay, I can meet you there the morning after, at 10 a.m. Don't forget to bring the money, $2,000. Next morning, Greg arrives at work early. He goes to find room 724. I have to wait for Cassie's stepfather to go out, he thinks. I don't know his name, but it doesn't matter. Greg watches the door of room 724. He sees the girl come to clean the rooms. Some minutes later, a man comes out of room 724. That must be Cassie's stepfather, thinks Greg. He waits for the man to leave, and for the cleaning girl to go into room 724. I need to look in the room, he thinks. Greg waits for the girl to leave the bedroom. Then he goes into the room and begins to look for the sketchbooks. I must be quick, he thinks. Where are they? Suddenly, Greg sees the sketchbooks by the bed. Got them, he thinks. He begins to look at the pictures. Wow! Cassie is a great artist. These are good. Greg is leaving the room when he hears the cleaning girl call out to him. Hey, she says. What are you doing? Come back. Greg does not stop. Greg finishes work that afternoon and leaves the hotel through a door in the next street. When he gets near the front of the hotel, he sees the man from room 724. That's him again, thinks Greg. That's Cassie's stepfather. Greg waits for the man to go into the hotel. Then he goes to the coffee shop. Cassie is at the same table in the coffee shop. Greg gets a coffee and goes to sit with her. I have them, he says, and he puts the sketchbooks on the table. That's great, says Cassie. How can I thank you, Greg? You can meet me later, he says. After I go home and change out of my porter's uniform. I'm sorry, Greg, says Cassie. I can't tonight. Maybe tomorrow night. Okay, says Greg. Tomorrow night. We can get something to eat first. Yes, okay, says Cassie. I have to go now, but meet me here tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock. Cassie gets up, ready to leave. Don't forget your key, says Greg. Oh, thanks, says Cassie. She takes it from him quickly. See you tomorrow. Greg is finishing his coffee when he sees his friend, Mike. You're in trouble, Greg, says Mike. Jake Russo's sketchbooks are not in his room, room 724. And there are CCTV pictures of you coming from that room. WH. Who is Jake Russo? Asks Greg. Suddenly he's not feeling very well. An artist, says Mike. His pictures sell for thousands of dollars. And his sketchbooks sell for thousands, too. Do you have them? Asks Mike. No. A girl has them, says Greg. What girl? Asks Mike. A girl with green eyes, says Greg. And he tells Mike about Cassie and her stepfather. But it's not true, says Mike, when Greg finishes speaking. Jake Russo doesn't have a wife or a stepdaughter. You have to find that girl and get the sketchbooks, Greg. And you have to do it before the police find you. Greg walks home to his one-room apartment. How am I going to find her? He thinks. She has Jake Russo's sketchbooks now, so she's not going to meet me again. Is she going to sell them for a lot of money? There is a police car in the street, next to Greg's apartment. Oh, no, he thinks. They're waiting for me. I can't get into my apartment now. That night, Greg sleeps on a train in the subway. But early the next morning, hey, you, says a man. He's the subway cleaner. Get up. You can't sleep here all day. Sorry, says Greg. People are arriving to get their trains now. One of them stops and looks at a photograph in his newspaper, and then at Greg. It's him, thinks the man. It's the young man in the newspaper photograph. The police are looking for him. Suddenly, Greg sees the man looking at him. And he sees his picture on the front of the man's newspaper. I have to get out of here quickly, he thinks. The man with the newspaper finds a policeman. It's him, he tells the policeman. The hotel porter, hey, you, the policeman calls to Greg. Greg runs. Stop, calls the policeman. Greg doesn't stop. I have to get out of this uniform, thinks Greg. People know I'm the porter. Maybe Mike can give me something different to wear. When he gets to Mike's apartment, Mike opens the door. I need something to wear, Greg tells him. I can't go back to my apartment. My picture's in the newspaper, and dash, yes, I know, says Mike. It's okay. Come in. Where's the girl? Asks Mike. Do you know? No, says Greg. What can you remember about her? Says Mike. There must be something to help you find her. Yes. Greg says, suddenly. Her key. A key to a room in the Dolphin Hotel. It's a small, cheap hotel near 42nd Street. She must be staying there. What's the time? Nearly 9 o'clock, says Mike. Maybe she's there now, says Greg. I have to go. Thanks, Mike. 20 minutes later, Greg is near the Dolphin Hotel. Am I too late? He thinks. Suddenly, Greg sees Cassie come out of the hotel. Cassie, he calls. Wait. I have to talk to you. Cassie sees him, but she doesn't stop. There is a car waiting for her. She says something to the driver and gets into it quickly. Oh, no, says Greg. Pier 83, says an old man in the street. Greg looks at him. What? The girl is going to Pier 83 West 42nd Street, for the Circle Line boat, says the old man. Greg smiles. Thanks, he says. And he begins to run. Greg runs all the way to Pier 83. People are getting onto the boat, and he gets a ticket on the boat. Greg looks for Cassie. But a woman with a newspaper is looking at him. It's the young man in the picture. She tells the man with her. Call the police, Eddie. The man gets his phone and calls the police. Some time later, Greg sees Cassie. She is talking to a man. But Greg does not see two policemen get on the boat. They quickly find Greg. Where are Jake Russo's sketchbooks? The first policeman asks him. I don't have them, says Greg. You don't want me. You want her. She has the sketchbooks. Hey, look. He's right, says the second policeman. The two policemen move quickly to Cassie and the man. I don't understand, says Cassie. How? The two of you are coming with us, says one of the policemen. You're in trouble. Later, Greg and a policeman take the sketchbooks back to the hotel. Jake Russo is very happy to see them again. I'm sorry, Mr. Russo, says Greg, and tells him everything. It's okay, says the artist, smiling. But stay away from girls with. This is a story about an emperor. He loved new clothes, and he had different clothes for every hour of the day. One day two men visited him. They liked money, but they did not want to work for it. We can make wonderful cloth, they said. It's very beautiful cloth, so only clever people can see it. I like it, the emperor thought. Make this cloth, then make me some clothes, he said to the men. Some people won't see them, but they're stupid people. He gave a lot of money to the two men. Every day the men asked the king for more money. We're working hard, they said. But they did not make any cloth. The emperor waited and waited. He wanted his new cloth, but he did not want to visit the two men. And he was afraid. Perhaps I won't see the cloth, he thought. Then everybody will know that I'm not a clever man. He called a servant. Go and look at the new cloth. Ask them, when will it be ready? The servant went to the men's house, but what did he see? Nothing. There was no cloth. What are they doing? The servant thought. Come nearer, one of the men said. Do you like our cloth? Isn't it beautiful? The servant looked and looked, but he saw nothing. I don't understand, he thought. Am I stupid? I can't tell anybody about this. He spoke to the men. Oh, it's very good, he said. The cloth is beautiful. I'll tell the emperor. The emperor waited for 2 more weeks, then he called another servant. When will the cloth be ready? He cried. Find those 2 men. Ask them, this servant went to the two men. They showed him the cloth, but he couldn't see anything. "Isn't the cloth beautiful?" one of the bad men said. The other servant liked it. The man thought, "I can't see the cloth. I'm stupid. But I don't want anybody to know." He went back to the emperor and said, "The cloth is wonderful." After 2 or 3 days, the people in the city started to talk about the beautiful cloth. "It's very beautiful, but stupid people can't see it," they said. Now the emperor really wanted to see the cloth. He took his servants with him and went to the men's house. "Isn't the cloth beautiful?" said the two men. "Please look at it. Isn't it pretty? Touch it." And they put out their hands and showed him. "I can see nothing," the emperor thought. "This is very, very bad. Am I stupid? A stupid man can't be emperor." He looked at the men's hands and said to his servants, "Oh, the cloth is beautiful. I like it." The servants looked and looked, but they saw nothing. "Beautiful. Lovely. Very pretty," they said. "The men will make some clothes from this cloth now." The emperor happily gave the two men more money. That night the two men did not go to bed. There were lights in every room in the house. The emperor and his people were working, they thought. Next morning, they went to the palace. "The emperor's new clothes are ready," they cried. The emperor went to their house with his servants. The two bad men put out their arms. "Here are your clothes," the men said. "Put them on." "Yes, yes," said the servants. But they could not see the clothes. The emperor took off his old shirt and trousers. The two men walked round him and touched his arms and legs. "We can't see any clothes," the servants thought. But they said nothing. "You look wonderful in your new clothes," everybody cried. "They are clothes for an emperor. I am ready now. I will walk through the streets," the emperor said. He looked at his arms and legs. "These new clothes feel very good. They aren't too big or too small." He walked through the streets with his servants and the great men of the country. People stood outside their houses or looked out of the windows. "Oh, our emperor's new clothes are very beautiful," they cried. But they thought, "We can't see any clothes. Are we stupid?" Then a little child spoke. "The emperor has no clothes." "Be quiet," his father said. But it was too late. "The emperor has no clothes," a man near the child repeated to the woman next to him. She told her friend, "The emperor has no clothes. The emperor has no clothes," the people cried. And they started to laugh. The emperor was angry. "The people are right," he thought. "But I have to walk through the streets." He walked and walked. His servants and great men followed him, but they knew, too. The emperor had no clothes.